Welcome to the Planet Microcap Podcast, the #1 destination for everything microcap investing. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and each week I sit down with elite investors, CEOs, and market experts to uncover actionable insights and real-world lessons you can apply immediately. Are you a new or experienced microcap investor? Do you want to meet microcap management teams as well as other microcap investors from around the world? Planet Microcap hosts the highest quality in-person microcap events in North America. The mission is to bring the best microcap investors, companies, and allocators together to gather, connect, and grow. Visit planetmicrocap.com to learn more about our Las Vegas and Toronto events. Now, a quick disclaimer. This presentation is for informational purposes only and should not be construed as a recommendation to purchase or sell any security referenced herein. Planet Microcap Holdings, LLC and Microcap Club, LLC are not licensed brokers nor registered investment advisors. We, our partners, contractors, members, subscribers, guests, or affiliates may or may not hold positions in one or more of the securities mentioned in this presentation and may trade in such securities at any time. We may have received cash compensation from one or more participants for presenting at past, present, or future events. We recommend you consult a licensed investment advisor, broker, or legal counsel before purchasing or selling any securities referenced in this presentation. Welcome to Planet Microcap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me right now is Michael Andrew Murray. He is the president and CEO and chairman of Kopin Corporation. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is KOPN on Nasdaq, and Kopin will be presenting at our upcoming investor conference, Planet Microcap Las Vegas, powered by Microcap Club, taking place June 16 through 18, 2026 at the Bellagio. For more information to register to meet with Kopin at our event, please register to attend at planetmicrocap.com. And with that, Michael, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. It's great to have you. Not only is it your first time presenting at our event, but this is actually our first time doing an interview on here as well. So for folks that aren't familiar with Kopin, can you give us that quick overview and history of the company?
Sure. So Kopin's a 40-year-old company based in Massachusetts. I took over the company about 3 years ago, coming on 4 years ago. Mainly focused on building microdisplays, ASICs, and a number of other technologies. But the core of our company is we are semiconductor developers that happen to have a fantastic business in the United States Department of Defense and also now in Europe, mainly focused on application-specific solutions in defense. But we're now starting to move into AI infrastructure with our microLED technology, but also has a defense flair within the Department of War, four-letter agencies, three-letter agencies that require a US-based manufacturer of AI chipsets as opposed to those that could be built in Taiwan or China, as an example. So the company is moving into its second phase of this strategy that I put in place when I joined, and we're being very successful with it. And we're really excited about being able to discuss it tonight with you and as well as at the conference.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Michael. So, we're talking AI infrastructure.
Mhm.
What would you say makes Kopin unique and different compared to some of your peers that are also seeing, all the same kind of trends and tailwinds and everything like that? And how are you competing against them and really just separating yourselves away?
Yeah, so I'm going to answer that question in three ways
Sure.
with three different pillars. Okay. First things first, we have a tremendous franchise in the U.S. Department of War capabilities. As an example, we're in thermal weapon sites today, and we're shipping, 15 to 20,000 units of weapon sites every year. We're also in head-mounted display systems like aircraft helmets and fast-moving jets that are classified, as an example, as well as rotary wing aircraft. So we have this longevity of really difficult problems to solve in defense. Now we have our European business coming up with our partners at Theon. I'm going there later this week to Greece to work on new technologies with them. So our European and NATO business is starting to grow in defense. So we have this tremendous wealth of capability. We do it very well. We're very unique in the market that we can add microdisplays, optics, as well as drive electronics and some sort of housing as an application-specific solution. So that's number one. We do that today. Number two, we have tremendous capability here in the United States that is very different than any other microdisplay company in the world. We build 4 different types of microdisplays currently. We invented the fifth kind, which is a bidirectional microdisplay called neural display, and I'll come back to that in a second. And the U.S. Department of War, under what's called an IBAS award, Industrial Base Analysis and Sustainment Act, invested $15.4 million in Kopin to build a color micro LED production line here in the United States in this building. We'll be the only United States company that I'm aware of that has a fully operational microLED production line by the end of this year. And Robert, that's to support programs like Soldier Borne Mission Command, which would be a $350 million to $500 million contract to Kopin if and when we are inserted into that program with the color microLED that's being developed with and for the Army. And then secondly, that same production line will be able to build our third pillar here, which is an AI infrastructure microLED interconnect chip. Now, remember what I said earlier, we have microLEDs in production today that is very unique. Most companies that are entering the market have never built a microdisplay ever, let alone have a microLED that's flying in an aircraft today. Moreover, we invented the bidirectional microdisplay. And this very not known company called NVIDIA came online yesterday. Jensen came out and said, this company Marvell will be the next trillion-dollar company. And I believe that to be true, but it's all based on AI interconnects. And an AI interconnect is the issue right now gating AI infrastructure advancement and gating more bandwidth, which NVIDIA can supply the market. And the reason why interconnects are gating that adoption rate is bandwidth, power consumption, and consumability and durability. So microLEDs, last night when Marvell announced their new 100 terabit per second switch, are now going to see the light of day. And this was the first validation in a real product where a microLED will be a transmitter and a receiver. And that bodes very well for Kopin since we'll have a AI interconnect chip demonstratable by the end of this year with our partner Fabric AI.
Very good. So another question I have for you is want to learn a little bit more about your background. You know, you mentioned you kind of came in as CEO. I think you said about 2 years ago to kind of lead this charge. So, you know, for lack of a better phrasing, why are you the guy for the job to get this done?
Yeah, it was an interesting opportunity for myself and my family. I had exited a company called Ultra Electronics, which sold to a PE firm in Boston, I think for 2.5 billion. So Ultra was a cryptography company. I ran their NSA Type 1 cryptography teams here in the United States, as well as their UK high grade and NATO cryptography teams in the UK, actually. So I exited that business and this opportunity became available. But prior to joining Ultra, I worked at a company called Analog Devices here in Massachusetts, building MEMS devices, and I had various roles, including some corporate M&A work. So it fit with my background, Patrick, half semiconductor, half defense. And now when you look at this new AI chipset that we're coming out with, and it is a family of chips, it's not one chip, it's a family of chips. You know, my background in cryptography might be interesting to the government when we start thinking about transmitting data over the air or over a waveguide or over fiber optics. So we're in a very unique position at Kopin, and I took this position to create that company that I want, which is a very dynamic, focused defense first company, second AI infrastructure, and third consumer. That is a rocket ship, literally, for a semiconductor company. And that's what we're building here.
Very cool. To close us out here today, you alluded to this a little bit, but we'll get the full picture. From what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts that folks should be paying attention to with regard to Kopin for the duration of 26?
Great question. So drones. I am staggeringly surprised by the speed that the Pentagon is moving when it comes to supplying drones to the United States and our allies. And Kopin announced our first person viewer this year called Sentinel FPV. And what Sentinel is basically an off the visor, off the helmet, swing down, full HD, first person viewer that's built in the United States. So many of the drone dominance winners are using either Fat Sharks from great companies like UMAC, but to get fully compliant with the FTC and other agencies, you need a US-based manufactured first-person viewer to supply the Pentagon. And if I'll remind investors, UMAC and Ondas are investors in Kopin. And I think they saw this coming before everyone else did, that US-based displays as well as optics and headsets are going to be required for the drone dominance competition. And we've just announced one major winner in the drone dominance competition, selected Kopin for our first-person viewer. But my guess is that you're going to see many more. We are tracking about 5 other companies that want to place orders on our first-person viewer for this year, and that will have significant volumes for next year. So that's one. Two, Soldier Borne Mission Command, major program, 3 big bidders, Anduril, Palantir Rivet, and Elbit. We are partnered with several of them, not all of them, not only for their prototypes, which will likely be OLED based to begin with, but we'll get an insertion in the program with our microLED, color microLED when it's ready. So that's a major program for us. And then thirdly, the United States government needs an AI transceiver chip built in the United States for their servers. And by the way, Robert, the United States government, Department of War, is the second largest consumer of AI GPUs, second largest, only behind the big hyperscalers. That is a 23 billion with a B market for Kopin that we're the only ones in that lane. So for us, there's some tremendous growth drivers in front of this company, and we're really excited that we have the right technology, the production lines here in the United States, and the pedigree and provenance to do it better than anybody else in the world.
Well, Michael, that's a good place to end it right there. With that, where can our audience go and find more information about the company?
Definitely hit our website, kopin.com. Follow me on Twitter or X, and certainly our LinkedIn pages are always updated. But look for more press releases from us around the drone dominance competition, certainly on the AI front with our friends at Fabric AI, and certainly our strategic investors, Theon International, Ondas, and Unusual Machines.
Excellent. Michael, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you in Vegas.
Yes, sir. See you
All
soon.
right. Thank you, sir.
Cheers.